Experimenting on ways to make the explosive safe to handle. Still, with no success. However, I'll keep you informed on all the results. With kindest regards, I remain, etc., etc. Anything else on the agenda?
No, sir. Just your call to General Davies.
I'll make it later.
Yes.
Miss Wilkes.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to be disturbed for the next hour. There's something I must concentrate on.
Yes, sir.
Law has its good points, but one of them isn't sitting around with 4 senior members of an investment firm, none of whom is under 70, while they tell you their troubles with the tax department, the younger generation, and their doctors. This had been one of those days, and I couldn't wait to get home and surround myself with a shower and change of clothes.
Is there anything I can do, miss? Are you sure there's nothing I can do to help?
I'm afraid there's nothing anybody can do. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It looks like we're trapped.
What are you doing here?
Bill, how's it going?
Fine, Herb, fine. Oh, Miss Larkley.
Mr. Gill, are you sure
Miss
there's
Larkley,
something
I've
you
gone
can do?
over every angle. I'm sorry, but there isn't a lawyer in the world who... Ask Mr. Maris. He's a lawyer. He'll tell you the same thing.
Are you a lawyer?
That's right.
Maybe you could help me.
See you later.
Bill?
It's about my fiance. He's been arrested for murder.
Well, first of all, let's, That's better. My name is Maris, Herb Maris. When that door opens again, we'll make a run for it, then you can tell me all about it. Our city jail is no place for anybody to spend a vacation. But Daniel Gray, Ph.D., was the last man you'd expect to find there.
I don't know much about the law, Mr. Maris, but I refuse to believe that an innocent man can be convicted for a crime he did not commit.
Tell me about your new explosive.
Well, it's a new compound I discovered based on a catalytic agent no one ever thought of before. It's got great possibilities once we get the bugs ironed out.
Who would have reason to put it in or on Larkley's golf ball?
Certainly wasn't me.
But you did have an argument with him recently.
Oh, not exactly an argument. More of a heated discussion.
I'll have it your way. What was it about?
I wanted him to let me out of my contract.
Why?
That's a personal matter.
So is murder.
Oh, it had nothing to do with Alan's death. Besides, it was weeks ago when we patched it up after.
Can you prove it?
I won't have to. Mr. Maris, does it make sense that I would play golf with my employer in the morning and then kill him in the afternoon?
Depends on how badly he played.
Yeah, that would be funny if it wasn't so serious. Matter of fact, he was a terrible player. No concentration. Would you believe he hit 3 straight balls into the lake on the 8th hole, all in the same spot?
What I believe is we're getting off the subject a little bit.
As a matter of fact, I had to lend him 6 of mine to finish the game.
Very interesting, but the thing I'd like to know... You say you lent him 6 of yours?
Yeah.
Did you tell this to the police?
Well, of course not. Well, they already think I killed Alan. Now, what would their reaction be if they knew I gave them the ball? You know, I cannot understand their thinking.
The police aren't stupid, Mr. Gray. But I'd like to leave you with something to think about. That loaded golf ball was probably meant for you. Guard? I wanted to discuss the Gray case with Lieutenant Weston, but he was out. So I decided to see the other people involved in this thing and get back to Weston later. Since I also wanted to see the lab, I decided to kill 2 birds with the same golf ball and talk to Ned Stevens, Alan Lockley's partner.
Let me tell you about this Daniel Gray. He inveigled Alan Lockley. Inveigled, sir, into putting up the money for his crackpot compound. A lot of money. And for what, I ask you? That invention isn't worth a nickel. Entirely too unstable. Nobody will ever be able to control it. Yet he was bleeding us white, costing us a fortune. And it was as much my money as it was Alan's.
Mr. Stevens, if you don't mind, I'd like to take a look at the laboratory.
Well, of course, of course. You came just in time. As soon as that estate is settled, that junk of Gray's goes where it belongs, down the drain. Miss Dawes, will you come to my office, please? Yes, now. I tell you, Mr. Maris, I pleaded with Alan to get rid of him and his explosions. But Alan was, well, no offense, a very stubborn man. Ah, Miss Dawes. Miss Dawes, this is Mr. Maris.
How do you do?
Miss Dawes, nice to see you.
Miss Dawes, will you please show Mr. Maris the laboratory and extend to him every courtesy, Miss Dawes. Mr. Maris is an old and valued friend.
Thank you very much.
Not at all, not at all. And drop in whenever you like.
Miss Dawes, how well do you know Dan Gray?
Very well. Why?
I've been asked to check into Alan Lockley's death. How do you feel about Dan's arrest?
Mr. Maris, Dan is a wonderful man and a fine scientist. I just don't know how he could have done such a thing.
Then you think he did do it?
Well, what else can I think? What can anyone think?
Well, his fiancée doesn't think so. And it was her father that was killed.
His what?
His fiancée. Gloria Lockley.
Did Dan say that?
Well, no. Miss Lockley told me.
Oh, Miss Lockley. Sweet, kind Miss Lockley. The social register model. Mr. Maris, I'm Dan's fiancée. It's true they were engaged once, but then Dan and I fell in love, and he broke his engagement to her. Look. But that doesn't stop her. Even now, when they're going to kill him, she just won't let him go. She won't let me have him. Why? What makes a person like that?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Mr. Maris. I shouldn't bother you with my troubles. I'll show you the lab. I suppose you want to see Dan's compound. This is it here.
It looks harmless enough.
It is, as long as it's kept in this liquid state. You see, once this is painted on an object and it dries, any tap will cause it to explode with a force more destructive than dynamite.
That's what happened to the golf ball, huh?
Judging from the size of the explosion, it must have been completely coated. Here, I'll show you something. You can watch through that viewing port. It'll shield you from the blast. And you keep your eye on it.
Doesn't take much, does it?
Not much at all.
Doesn't it bother
funny working with sudden death all the time?
Mr. Maris, I've been Dan's assistant from the beginning, and I think I've lost my fear of this stuff. But believe me, not my respect.
That's impressive, all right, but is it practical?
Well, Dan and Mr. Lockley were sure we'd eventually be able to build a safety factor into it. And knowing them, I'm sure it would happen eventually. Mr. Stevens, though, he's been afraid we'll go broke first. It's true, it has taken a lot of money, and he's been violently against it from the start.
Thank you, Miss Dawes. I'd like to talk to Mr. Stevens again, if it's all right.
You heard the man. Any time. Mr. Maris, do you think there's a chance for Dan?
Yes, I think he has a very good chance. You see, no one knows yet that golf ball was meant for Gray himself. When the police find out, they're going to have to start working in a completely different direction. I think we'll get him out in time for you to be a June bride.
I hope you're right.
Dan Gray is going to be tried for murder, a murder that I'm certain he didn't commit.
The police think differently.
Let me ask you a question. This company is worth a lot of money, isn't it?
Well, it was until that fool Gray came along. What are you driving at, sir?
Well, in most companies, there's a provision made for the death of a partner. With Larkley dead, who gets this company?
Well, I do, of course. We planned it that way originally.
I see.
I resent your insinuation, sir.
I'm insinuating nothing. But just as an observation, Larkley's death came at a most opportune time, didn't it?
Get out. Get out at once.
All right. But may I make a suggestion, Mr. Stevens? If you have a good lawyer, I think you better keep him handy. I thought it was time for a few more words with Gloria Larkley. Either one of these gals was lying, or Dan Gray was engaged to both of them. I didn't know how good a scientist he was, but as a lover, he obviously had a great future ahead of him. Although she didn't need the money, Gloria was a photographic model. I called her agency, and they told me she was on location and where to find her.
Now remember, dear, this is the drink. Put your head up. This is the drink to end all drinks. Without it, any picnic would be worthless, utterly worthless. Now, you gaze at the bottle in rapture. You can hardly wait to taste it. Are you ready? Good. No, Gloria. You're supposed to be holding a bottle of nectar. Now, the very thought of drinking it gives you goosebumps. Now look as though you had goosebumps. Now hold it. Say, you do look goosebumpy. Hold it. There.
Mr. Maris.
Gloria? Tell me, is that stuff really nectar?
Heaven and a bottle. How'd you know where to find it?
Your agency told me. I just talked to Linda Dawes.
Oh.
Why did you lie to me about yourself and Dan?
I didn't. All right. I did exaggerate a little bit, but what difference does it make?
I don't know. Suppose you tell me.
I suppose I was afraid you wouldn't take his case if you didn't think it was terribly important. I love Dan, Mr. Maris. I suppose I have since I first met him. Suppose you know about Linda.
Yes.
All right, Gloria. I'm ready for the next shot.
Oh, Mr. Phineas, this is Mr. Maris.
Mr. Phineas?
Well, you ever done any photographic modeling?
Well, once when I was a year old, I posed on a bearskin rug.
Oh, how terribly hilarious. Ready for the next shot.
All right. You shouldn't kid him. He's very serious about his work.
I'm sorry. Apologize to him for me, will you?
Oh, he'll be all right as soon as we get the next good shot.
Just one more thing. How well did your father and Mr. Stevens get along?
All right, I guess. Dad was a scientist, but no businessman. Ned was all business.
No trouble between them?
Oh, no. At least not until Dan's formula came along. Dad wanted to go for broke on it, but Ned was afraid that it might bankrupt us. Things got pretty tough for a while. But it's just business.
Well, thanks, Gloria. I'll leave you to your goosebumps.
Mr. Maris, do you think, will Dan be all right?
I'm sure he will. Now, don't you worry. We'll find the real murderer very soon.
Thank you, Mr. Maris.
When I called headquarters, they told me Lieutenant Weston had been in and gone. But he'd left word to tell me where he'd be.
Check it out, Ben. Take care of him.
Oh, John, you look beat. What happened?
I am. Allie Chambers, a small-time hood, trying to work into the big league. They found him stuffed in a trunk.
Dead?
Fatally. What's up?
I want to talk to you about Dan Gray.
Oh, the genius?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me something, Herb. How do you manage to get involved in these things?
You won't believe this, but I was waiting for an elevator.
You bet I won't believe it. Now, what's with the genius?
Did you know that he gave that exploding golf ball to Lockley?
Of course. Why do you think he's in jail?
No, I mean he gave it to him on the golf course.
Oh, gave it to him on the golf course, which means that nobody would be nutty enough to wait around for it to explode.
Which means that somebody else gave it to Gray. Which means we're going to have to start looking for a third party.
Why didn't Gray tell us?
He was teaching you a lesson.
He was teaching us a lesson?
He was mad at you for thinking that he killed Lockley.
He was mad at us?
Why do you keep repeating everything I say?
Well, Herb, you're a man about town, a bon vivant, a raconteur. Tell me something.
Ask questions. That's the only way you learn.
Well, what's with this guy?
You said it. He's a genius.
Yeah, well, I'll check him out in the morning. I got to get back to the office. I've got a terrible feeling that I'm going to be up all night.
A policeman's lot is not a happy one.
Herb, if you get any more goodies, don't call.
Don't worry. I have a very attractive dinner date, and I'm not going to ruin it by working.
Yeah. See ya.
Mr. Maris.
Linda, you know Lieutenant Weston.
Yes, how do you do, Lieutenant?
Miss Dawes.
Is something wrong?
A little while ago, an attempt was made on my life.
Are you serious?
Very.
Can you account for your time tonight, Miss Dawes?
Well, of course. I was home all evening. I had some things to do here. And...
Right after it happened, I made several phone calls. One to Ned Stevens, he was home. One to Gloria Lockley. She was home, too. Then I called you. There was no answer. You didn't get home fast enough.
But that's ridiculous. I was here. I was probably in the shower.
It won't work, Miss Dawes. The building manager said you came in about 10 minutes ago.
Well, he's lying.
Once we start digging, we'll find somebody who will place you at the scene, a newsboy or maybe a cab driver. Did you take a cab, Miss Dawes?
What are you looking for, Lieutenant?
This.
I don't suppose anything I say will be of any help, will it?
I'm afraid not. You did kill Lockley, didn't you?
Yes, but you were right. I meant it for Dan. I wouldn't have hurt Mr. Lockley for the world.
But why Dan?
Do you know how much it takes out of a woman to be even halfway successful, Mr. Maris? Where I come from, the wrong side of the tracks isn't just an expression. I was born there.
Couldn't Dan see what was happening?
For a brilliant man, Dan isn't very bright. I pleaded with him to quit, to take his formula someplace else. He finally got up enough gumption to ask for the release from his contract.
And?
Well, Dan isn't exactly a tower of strength. Mr. Lockley talked him out of the idea. Gloria won.
How did Gloria win?
Well, Dan was here the night before it happened. And he was very apologetic, but what it boiled down to was that he felt our marriage would be a mistake. That we were mistaking friendship and affection for love. The kind of love he felt for Gloria. And he was leaving me to go back to her.
Linda, why didn't you just let him go?
You still don't understand, do you? I love him, Mr. Maris, and I need him. And if I can't have him, nobody can.
All right, Miss Dawes, get some clothes on. We're going to go downtown.
I don't think so. That gun won't help, Lieutenant. This lipstick holder was soaked in Dan's compound. And if I should drop it...
You're bluffing.
You think so? Why don't you tell him about our little demonstration, Mr. Maris?
If she's telling the truth, Lieutenant, there wouldn't be enough of us left to identify.
How far do you think you'll get?
As long as I have this, a good distance, I imagine. Now, gentlemen, please don't do anything to startle me. I wouldn't do that, Lieutenant.
Better not, John.
Now, gentlemen.
She was bluffing.
Well, Miss Dawes, the fun and games are over. Suppose we go now, huh?
Lieutenant, do you have a family?
Why?
May I suggest you be very careful with that? I wasn't bluffing.
After you, Lieutenant. And please, don't stumble.
You know, there was enough stuff on that lipstick of Linda's to blow up City Hall. You sure you want to hit that golf ball?